So they're in a situation here where they've got the ball on the opposition try line. So a big part of defence is how you kick the ball, and obviously straight away there we've seen a really poor kick. They seem to have long enough to plan it and they didn't really do anything with it. The kick was stabbed through, there was no kick chase, or no structured kick chase at least, and look at the outcome. And what I see here, see these defenders rushing over to make the tackle. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black players in the screen there, and there's only one Wigan player. They should be able to deal with that. If I see 2 defenders there, I expect him to stay on the inside shoulder to try and force that player out there. If he doesn't stay on the inside shoulder, I expect this player to do exactly that. Instead, there's a panic, and watch this. Skips through all of those defenders and gives a repeat set because of a penalty. It gives them a hit around the chops. I'll just go back, take you through that a bit slower. Alright, so Catalans are in total control here. A good kick with good chase, they should get a repeat set. Instead, it's a rushed kick, no proper chase, and we have a disrupted defensive line. There should be inside shoulder there. Instead, they rush over, get stepped on the inside, give away the penalty. So we've gone from a team that should be down the opposition end of the field, at best get a repeat set, at worst keep the Wigan team in their 10, or maybe at best score a try rather than get a repeat set. Instead, they're now on the halfway line. I'm looking at their collisions. There's a lot of people going into the collision look. I don't know if you saw there was 4 defenders going in. That's good, that's always a good sign. But it's about what you do with it here too. The collision was a little bit chesty, and let's see what kind of control they come up with. That's not bad at all, and I think they're sliding a little bit in the mud. I actually think that is a really unlucky penalty. Look at that. I don't know how you can call that a penalty. Maybe he was holding on for a bit too long, but in the mud the ball is always likely to slip. Now, I've paused the tape here because if I was coaching against this Catalan side, I'd go 1 carry to there, keep these defenders tied up, and then shift the ball to here. Look, space, space, space. Right? Or I wouldn't even do the 1 carry, I'd just shift straight away if needed to, but I think the 1 carry in there would pinch some of these defenders back. The Catalans' defensive split is not very good at all. The contact is chest. I think he was in an ideal position there to put his shoulder in under the ball and drive the attacking player back, but he doesn't. And what I've also noticed here, the spacings between each defenders are allowing the Wigan defenders to get their nose through the line. The second contact there, not very good either. Did you notice as well how quickly all players got off the tackled player? There was 4 in and all of a sudden they were gone. It was in no way controlled at all. Now, I'm looking at this Cats defensive line now. Like I said, I feel like they're short. When I talk about the defensive split, I'm expecting to see here 5 defenders on that side, 5 defenders on that side, 2 markers, a full-back, that gives you your 13. Instead, I would class, and I know perspective is everything, but I would class Catalans as short on the far side. Now, Wigan don't exploit that, which is lucky for the Catalans, but obviously we're looking at the Catalans and we want to check that they're doing the right thing. Again, chest contact, but 3 in on the tackle, they should control that nice and easily. And it's not bad in Super League terms, because the Super League game is a lot faster. That's not bad ruck control, in all honesty. But they've given away a penalty somewhere. So what I'm seeing now is a team that in 1 set has gone from nearly scoring a try, nearly forcing a repeat set, to losing metres very easily, and they've given away 3 penalties. So Wigan are now firmly in control. All because of the Catalans' mismanagement. And they go for goal. Now, the next attack defensive set. Great line speed there from the Cats, and the ruck control. I'd call that a nothing play for both teams. Now, Catalans are in great control here. The collision was good, the ruck control is good, everything is good there from the Catalans. I see no problem at this juncture. I think most things are fine. The ruck is getting controlled, the defenders are controlling it well. Oops, did you see that space there? So everything is in control here for the Catalans. And then watch this. The A defender should be here and covering this space. Instead, the A defender is having a snooze, the B defender's having a bit of a snooze, the C defender's come up, the attacking Wigan player gets his nose in behind there. That's really poor from the black team, the Catalans Dragons. Chesty contact, they end up getting knocked back. There was a penalty there, hence this is the next play. The Catalans in this few minutes have ended up putting themselves under huge pressure. They throw in another penalty. They're giving away penalties because their tackle techniques are poor. They're passive and they're trying to recover tackles as opposed to being dominant and controlling tackles. This defender's come up on his own there. I'm not sure I like that tactic, but that's their prerogative. Again, chesty tackle, getting rolled back, but there shouldn't be any problem. They should deal with this. And instead what we have is really poor collision there. Now, if you look at this clip now, Catalans shouldn't have any problem dealing with this. Their structure is okay. There's your 5 defenders that I was saying on the far side of the post. They've now got that right. Their defensive structure should be able to deal with it. Instead, this happens. I still don't see a problem here. Okay? I think they're in control, Catalans. Now, this is the key moment. Instead of staying on the inside shoulder and putting a tackle in under the ball, watch what happens. He goes in with his chest, so that gives a chance for the attacker to fend and push him back. And when you're dealing in this area here, they're the millimetres that can make the difference between a try or no try. And because he got the ball away because of that collision, this has happened. Now, look how many Catalan players are in the screen, and who did they tackle? They just rushed across, and they've actually ended up off the field, and Wigan end up scoring a try. We'll go to that again. Look, they should be in control. Look for the chest collision. It allows the attacker to get the ball away and do this. So you've just watched that defensive clip. Now that just shows you a perfect example of how a team can be in control, and then with some sloppy discipline, sloppy kick chase, sloppy kicking, and also some sloppy tackle technique and defensive structure, you can be down the other end of the field in no time. So the things that I hope you got from that were that the kick chase wasn't present, or if it was present, it wasn't coordinated. The kick was poor. From that, the broken defence, the broken play, a lot of Catalan players couldn't deal with one Wigan player, and because of poor tackle technique, one ended up giving away a penalty by taking a Wigan player's head off. As they went down the field, Wigan, Catalans kept giving away penalties, and then the big thing for me that I saw regularly was poor tackle technique and an inconsistency in their defensive structure. So on the second wave of defensive play, the second set that you saw, they were good for 2 rucks, and then on the third ruck, the A and B defenders weren't in place, and there was some go forward achieved by Wigan there. Fast forward a couple of minutes, and they're down the other end, and then the edge defence. First of all, the split wasn't right, as exemplified by me counting those 3 players on the other side of the posts. But also, when the split was right, individual players got things wrong. The right centre for Catalans didn't get his shoulder in under the ball. He went in with his chest, which allowed the Wigan player to fend him and get the offload away. And then every defender slid across, and instead of tackling from the inside and putting them into touch, they slid right past him and ended up in the hot dog stand at the JJB Stadium or DW Stadium or whatever it's called. So there you go. Just because it happens in Super League or in NRL doesn't mean it's great. That was from a few years ago. Let's hope everyone's learned from that and things are better. And that's what the kids on the Aim Higher programme have been studying.